Hi students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I'm streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here in Western Canada. I hope that all of you are having a great week so far. I hope you're staying healthy and happy. Welcome Fuang, welcome Lamia, Silviana, nice to see many of our members in the class. And welcome students, Chetraj, Chipo, Divyanshi, Gashem, Nam, Habib. Good to have many of you here with me today for this IELTS speaking class, speaking part 1, talking about school. Definitely a very popular topic on the IELTS that seems to crop up quite frequently. Students, this lesson and the materials that you are about to see come from our websites, aehelp.com for academic IELTS. Check us out there. For general IELTS, visit us at gieltshelp.com. These websites are the textbooks for these live classes. They have all of our practice exams, lesson videos, audio CDs for listening, and they have a lot of bonus features like interactive speaking with students that we will use today for the speaking section. So definitely check out aehelp.com. Looks like this with the blue background. Click this big red button to join the premium IELTS package. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access and it doesn't cost much, so it's well worth it. We're an IDP affiliate. We're a British Council partner. We're an IELTS test registration center. So you're in great hands with us. And we always have a little special discount code for those of you joining these live classes. Today, that code is coming from our most recent speaking video release. It's CTRL9, so basically Control 9. And when you apply that code, you will get a 10% discount. The price is different in different countries, so check out your local cost and currency. Welcome Sarah, our chat moderator. General IELTS website looks like this, green background. Click this big red button here to join the premium IELTS package. Again, it's a one-time payment for lifetime access, so definitely visit us there and check it out. All right, everyone. Getting a bit deeper into our content, you can download our apps from your app stores, Academic IELTS Help, General IELTS Help. The app will link to your web account, so you can learn from the app or the web account. You only need to get the premium version in one, and then you get it in both. For Instagram, IELTS_AEHelp, GIELTS Help, you will see reels and vocabulary videos on our Instagram for IELTS. You will also see the schedule for these live classes. And then if you have questions, send me an email to adrian@aehelp.com or admin@aehelp.com. We love getting emails. We love answering your questions. So just send us whatever question you have about IELTS, English, or our products, and we'll be happy to get back to you ASAP. You can also get our books from Amazon, our exam books. Just search for AE Helps Academic IELTS or GIELTS General IELTS, and then you'll get the physical, actual paper book delivered to your house or your mailing address. This week, students, January 26th to the 28th, we're almost through the first month of 2023. Time certainly does fly. So right now we have speaking part 1, of course. Tomorrow we'll have a bit of an earlier class, a reading for members, and then we'll have another reading class for subscribers. So definitely subscribe to the channel, hit that bell button, get notifications so that you know when these live classes are happening. Speaking part 2, speaking part 3 on Saturday. No special event this Sunday, okay? All right, students, here's a link to our most recent speaking video with some great tips for you to get a higher band score in your IELTS exam. Make sure to check that out. I've put this link into the chat for you so you can click on it and then open it up in a different window to watch it later. Welcome, Romelia, Raquea, Domenico. Nice to see many more students. Andrew, many more members in the class now. All right, so let's get into it. Speaking part 1. The IELTS speaking takes about 12 to 15 minutes. The goal to get a high band score, simply put, is just to have a very clean, professional, high quality conversation with the examiner based on the questions that the examiner is asking you. Now, that's easier said than done, that's for sure. But it can be done as long as you are focused and as long as you pay attention to good English and good communication features. So that's what we're going to discuss today, what that entails. IELTS speaking part 1, the first part. Speaking has 3 parts. Part 1 takes about 5 minutes, introductions, and then questions on a general topic, like today talking about school. And then you'll have a part 2 cue card, the long part, and the part 3, so we will do that later in the week on Saturday. Right now, we'll focus on part 1. We'll focus on good introductions and answering questions with clarity. That's at the top of the agenda for the day. So you get to your exam and you show up early, okay? It's really important that you're using English all day on the day of your speaking interview. In fact, you should be using English all day when you're doing your sitting exam, the listening, reading, writing part as well. Use English as much as possible. So the brain doesn't like to switch between languages, especially not when it's under pressure to perform at a high level. So you want to keep your brain in English, thinking in English, so that you just show your highest English ability or your best English when you're in the actual test. And then you go to your exam, you go early, you go an hour early, you practice with other candidates. So be brave, find other students, go and talk to them. Say, hi, are you here for the IELTS speaking exam? You are? That's fantastic. Would you mind helping me out? Could you practice some questions with me? I can ask you a few questions, you can ask me a few questions, just so that we can get our brain going on these IELTS speaking interview questions specifically. And then if the person says, no, I'm super nervous, I'm going to sit here, bite my nails, wait for the exam, then go, well, all right, no problem. I'll go find somebody else. And then go find somebody else. Don't give up, okay? Keep trying. All right, so, and even practice these introductory questions, because often students are the most nervous in the first couple minutes and they tend to speak in awkward ways for the introductory questions because they're very nervous. May I see your identification? Yes, my full name is Peter Smith. I came here on a bus. Okay. Can I see your identification? Yes, I live with 3 people in an apartment. Okay. Can I see your identification, right? So when we're nervous, our brain tends to do, funny things. So practice those questions with a person. Say, hey, can we practice those introductory questions just so we feel comfortable? So get into it. All right, students, let's do this. So IELTS speaking, remember, you're not speaking to your English teacher. Your IELTS examiner will not try to get you to speak fluent English. It's up to you. You have to show fluent English, okay? So IELTS speaking part 1, show fluency from the very beginning. Use full sentences. Make sure you're accurate, okay? All right, let's do this, everyone. So just give me your answers. I will take a look, we'll match up. And of course, this is speaking. So make sure to speak and repeat throughout today's lesson and exercises, okay? It's very important. When you catch new vocabulary, write it down immediately. And then after class, use it. Make a unique sentence with it, okay? So, may I see your identification? Give me a nice full sentence answer. While you're thinking about it, yes, Sarah, you're absolutely right. We are in an IELTS training class here, which is intermediate English and above, so everybody in the chat should clearly be using English. Okay, if you've got something funny to say, if you've got an insult for someone, do it in English, all right? If you've got something nice to say, do it in English, all right? Do yourself a favor. Do it in English. So here we go. May I see your identification? Okay, Marco Margarita says, let's see what Marco says here. Marco says, certainly here's my ID card that I used to register. Please have a look. Good, solid. All right, I like it. Marco, makes sense. It's fluent. It's a full sentence. It sounds natural. Certainly, here's my ID card that I used to register. Please have a look. Very good. Silviana says, yes, gladly, here is my ID card that I have used for registration last month. Please have a look. Now, students, make sure that if you're showing your passport, say passport. Don't say ID card. It's strange to say ID card for a passport. So if you're using an ID card, say it. If you're using your driver's license, in some countries that's okay. That's an official ID, of course, in Canada, for example, then say, this is my driver's license. If you're using your passport, say, this is my passport. Okay, so make sure that you actually name the ID correctly. All right. Domenico has a very fluent answer here for us. We'll take a quick look. So Domenico says, certainly, just give me a moment to dig it out of my pocket as it has got stuck in it. Here's my passport, which I used to register for this exam a few weeks ago. Please have a look. Domenico, it's not bad, but it's a bit over speaking. So don't be overzealous. Okay? Because then the examiner will get worried that you're going to be a bit too talkative. Okay? So Domenico, certainly just give me a moment to dig it out of my pocket is okay. You don't need to say as it has got stuck. That's understood. Clearly you're trying to dig it out of your pocket because it's stuck, okay? So just an important piece of advice, students, you have to find that sweet spot when you're giving answers. Do not overspeak, okay? That means once you have given an answer, plus an explanation, plus an example, then you want to stop, okay? And don't double explain and don't over explain. Be concise, okay? It's important. So good communication is concise communication. It's clear communication, but it doesn't repeat, okay? Doesn't mean you just say yes here, okay? That's a bit too concise. So you need to find that sweet spot, okay? All right, what is your full name? Give me a nice full sentence. And Silviana Domenico Fong, I see some thumbs up, Chayani, so I know that you're understanding what I'm saying. You're picking up what I'm putting down. All right, Habib, I see your answer. Habib says, my given name is Habib and my surname is Ola. My whole name is Habibola. Please call me Habib. All right, so Habib, this is what I mean about over speaking, right? You don't need that much. So my given name is Habib and my surname is Ola. Obviously, your whole name is Habib Ola. I get that because you just told me that. So please call me Habib. Okay. Sure. That's good. You don't need to repeat yourself. Okay, so pay attention to those unnecessary repetitions. They also take up time, right? So the examiner will have less time to ask you more questions. The more questions the examiner can ask you and the more clear, concise answers they get, the higher your band score. Okay? All right. Anonymous says, my first name is Yash and my surname is Nerukar. Please call me Yash. Well, anonymous, unless you're giving me a fake name, you're not staying anonymous anymore. But anyway, the answer is great, okay? So my first name is Yash, and my surname, we usually put the my in there just to emphasize, and my surname is Narurkar. Please call me Yash. All right, Yash. That's great. Again, don't make small mistakes like missing is or missing my, okay? Be really natural. So my first name is Yash and my surname is Narurkar. Please call me Yash. Okay? All right, so good. Okay, and then the examiner will say, now I will ask you a couple of questions to get to know you better and some questions on a general topic. Where is your hometown? All right, this question, students, be careful. I hear a lot of candidates overcomplicate questions. So keep in mind, IELTS is not about the truth, okay? It is about finding the easiest path to the highest band score, okay? The reason I say that is because a lot of people, when the examiner, when the person asks them, what is your hometown, they get confused. They're like, does that mean like where I was born and raised? Or does it mean where I'm living right now? For some people, you know, they're living in a city for like 20 years, but they were born and raised somewhere else. The answer, it doesn't matter. Pick one and talk about it, whichever is easiest. Sometimes it's easier to talk about the city you're living in right now, because especially when the examiner also knows that city, they're in the city, right? So, your hometown is where you spent most of your life. But in the IELTS, it doesn't matter if you talk about the town that you are currently living in. Okay? It's debatable, all right? It's arguable. Does that make sense? Okay. So Pitam has this answer. My hometown is located in the midwestern part of Nepal, which is near Lumbini Medical College in the Palpa district. That's confusing, Pitam. Do you mean your house where you grew up in the hometown? So, and Pitam, the question here is, what is the name of your hometown? Okay, we still don't know. From this answer, Pitam, we still don't know what your hometown is actually called. At least I can't understand it. You said your hometown is located in midwestern part of Nepal, near Lumbini Medical College. Excuse me. Palpa district. But what is it actually called? Okay. So a good answer to this question, just to give you a bit more help, and then maybe some of you will think about rephrasing this question, is I have spent most of my life here in Victoria, which of course is located on the southern tip of Vancouver Island in Western Canada, and it is surrounded by the Pacific Ocean. Okay, so it's asking for the location. Where is your hometown? So here is my answer. I have spent most of my life here in Victoria, which of course is located on the southern tip of Vancouver Island in Western Canada, and it is surrounded by the Pacific Ocean. Okay, here now the examiner knows the name of my hometown and where it's located, and then I'm calling it my hometown because it's where I spent most of my life. Okay, so that is a clear answer. All right, Farnaz, Farouk. Okay, says, my hometown is situated in the southeast part of our territory, which is a district of Chittagong Division named Feni. It is an immense municipal... So, Farnaz, what's the name of your hometown? This is now the second answer that I see where I don't actually get the name of the hometown. So see how I introduced the name of my hometown at the very beginning here, students. I've spent most of my life here in Victoria, which of course is located on the southern tip of Vancouver Island. So that also tells the listener my definition of my hometown. Okay, let's take Jatinder's answer here. So students, if you don't answer the question, like if your answer is like this is going to be a band 5 because it's not a clear answer. Even if you're fluent, the examiner's like, okay, what's your hometown? Examiners cannot follow up their questions with questions that are not on their sheet. So they can't say, well, you still haven't told me the name of your hometown. What is it? Okay. So this would also be a band 5 here because it just simply doesn't answer the question. We don't know, we know where it's located roughly, but we don't know the name of it, right? So Jatinder, one of our members, says, my hometown is Ludhiana, which is in Punjab province of India. Specifically, I have been living in the heart of my city since my birth. That's much better. That can get you a band 9. It's clear and fluent. Okay, so without mistakes. All right, so that makes sense. Okay, next question. So again, students, you really have to make sure that you think about the examiner as a person who does not know what you know. You cannot expect them to look inside of your brain and just know information that you have in there, like the name of your hometown. Okay? If you speak like that, if you have a speaking interview where you are talking to them like as if they're your friend who knows a lot of information about you, you will get a lower score. Okay? Fennel, meanwhile, has hopped in on this class, one of our members, and has just made a super chat donation, which is very kind of you, Fennel. Thank you so much. I never even talk about super chat donations, but I really do appreciate them. Fennel says, today was my speaking about an unusual meal. Part 3, I faced 7 to 8 questions as it was going quite smoothly. Especially part 3, I had linked 3 answers to part 2. Fennel, that sounds awesome. I'm really curious how you will do when you get your mark in a couple of days. Well, of course, if you finish the other parts, let us know how you did. So I will keep my fingers crossed that you get a great score. But having 7 to 8 questions in part 3 is usually a pretty good sign. It means that you're doing quite a good job in the examiners gauging your higher level of speaking. So good job, Fennel. Nicely done. Come back and definitely let me know the results. I would love to get your testimonial, of course, and congrats on the speaking. I can tell you feel good about it. That's great. All right. So getting back to the questions here, okay? So the first question is, where is your hometown? And the next question is, what do you like about it? Okay. So notice how Fennel said that he linked the part 3 answers to part 2. Linking answers is a really good idea. So I could say, for example, well, as I had mentioned, Victoria is surrounded by the ocean. So there are lots of beaches where I enjoy relaxing and swimming in the summer. The air is very fresh, and the city has a lot of greenery where I can go for hikes with friends and family. In fact, I went for a pleasant walk this morning at Mount Doug Park to clear my mind before this exam. Okay, so there we go. All right. Fennel says, for me, the examiner did not ask for my ID as it was online. Thank you, Fennel, for that tip. So, yeah, don't expect questions, students. There's no guarantees, right? So if you're doing your exam online, the examiner will not ask for your ID, especially now because they have facial recognition software that they're using. Okay. All right, now this might seem like a long answer, but as long as you're fluent, the examiner will let you give this kind of an answer because it's on topic, it's connected, and it's new information, okay? So here we go, a little bit of repetition work. So what do you like about it? Well, as I had mentioned, Victoria is surrounded by the ocean, so there are lots of beaches where I enjoy relaxing and swimming in the summer. The air is fresh and the city has lots of greenery where I can go for hikes with friends and family. In fact, I went for a pleasant walk this morning at Mount Doug Park to clear my mind before this exam. Okay, so this is the concept of answer, explanation, example with good connection between ideas. All right. Faizan Sharif says, as I have mentioned, Toba Tek Singh is a small city, so there's less traffic, which is a cause peaceful life. And it is one of the most clean city in Punjab. The environment is clean here. Okay, so Faizan, let me put this back towards you, okay? What band level is this, do you think? So communication. So let's give some constructive criticism, some feedback for each other, okay? So Faizan here says, as I have mentioned, Toba Tek Singh is a small city, so there's less traffic, which is a cause peaceful life, and it is one of the most clean city of Punjab. The environment is clean here. What do you think this would get? So Brothers Gaming says 6, Alan Zavadlal says 7.5. What do you think? Kunal says 6.5, Lizanda says 6, Rakwea says 5.5, Iqbal says 7. So notice there's quite a range there. Lizanda says 5. Okay, well the question is why? So let's see if you can figure out the mistakes, okay? What are the mistakes in Faizan's response? And then maybe you'll get a better idea of the actual band score that it would get, okay? So good points, for example, okay? So as I have mentioned, is good because it's connecting, right? Okay, that's fine. That's a good one. But then we get into some troublesome areas, right? Which is a cause peaceful life. This is confusing and the grammar is off. And it is one of the most clean city. Again, grammar is off and confusing language. The environment is clean here. It's repetitive. It's wrong, right? Yes, Masenate caught that repetition. So, what do you think is the band score now? Well, for those of you who said 5, you're a bit closer. This would be about a band 5 level response, especially if there's some pronunciation and fluency features that are not exactly up to par. So this would be closer to a band 5. There's one good feature here of the connection, but we're not really getting a clear answer here. We're getting repetition and we're getting some grammatical mistakes as well. So let's fix these, okay? Let's turn this band 5 into a band 9. As I have mentioned, Toba Tek Singh is a small city, so there is less traffic, which leads to a peaceful life, and I quite enjoy this. Serenity. Let's add a little bit in there. Here, this is important, students, because the question is asking what do you like about your hometown. So you need to show that you enjoy, okay, this part of your town. All right, you have to make your answers directly related or responding to the question. Okay. All right, now just a bit of technical. In writing, you would not have a full stop here, you would have a comma. And it is one of the cleanest cities. One of many, right? And not most clean, but cleanest. So there's several grammatical mistakes and word form mistakes in a row, which makes the coherence tricky. Cities, okay? So it is one of the cleanest cities of Punjab. And I enjoy breathing, or I like, if you don't want to repeat enjoy, like breathing the fresh air day in and day out. Okay? So now we're on track to a band 9. Okay, notice the difference. As I have mentioned, Tobatek Singh is a small city, so there's less traffic, which leads to a peaceful life, and I quite enjoy this serenity. And it is one of the cleanest cities of Punjab, and I like breathing the fresh air day in, day out. Okay? Clear? All right, so there's quite a bit of correction there between that band 5 and band 9. Okay, band 5 moderate, band 9 expert. All right, so focus on these features, focus on answers, explanations, examples, and we'll get into part 1. So after the examiner has asked you a couple of questions like where's your hometown, what do you like about it, they're going to ask you some questions on a general topic, and talking about school or work is quite popular. Okay, so here the examiner says, let's talk about school. Where do you go to school? All right, give me a nice full sentence answer for this one. Meanwhile, Yin, don't start your sentence with obviously. It's for the examiner, it's not obvious. They don't know you, so it's weird to say to the examiner, well, obviously, I've lived here for 20 years. How is that obvious? I have no idea who you are. Okay, so don't say that. All right, don't say honestly speaking, and don't say obviously. The examiner, first of all, why would you lie to them? You don't need to be saying honestly speaking, just be honest. And you don't need to say obviously because the examiner has no idea who you are. Okay, so speak clearly. Don't use these catchphrases, they won't get you points. Okay, that's a myth, it's false information. All right, you can use some of those expressions correctly for specific questions, but you can't just randomly use them. Okay? All right, let's take an answer here. Rakwea says, I used to go to school in a nearby village, Basait, that is about 1 kilometer from my home. Okay, Rakwea, so here we're still at about a band 5. Okay? Why? Why is Rakwea's answer a band 5? I used to go to school in a nearby village, Basif. It's about 1 kilometer from my home. It's still about a band 5. Why? Tell me, everyone. I need you to tell me. I need you to be critical, quick thinkers here. Yes, Jatinder says it's in the past tense. It's off topic, right? The question is, where do you go to school, right? Exactly. Fuang says the grammar is off. It's like you're talking about where you went to school, but the examiner is actually asking you, where do you go to school? So, Rakwea, if you don't currently go to school, you need to say, currently, I do not attend school. And then you might say, I used to go to school in a nearby village, Basait, that is about 1 kilometer from my home, but I had graduated back in 2016. Okay? So that would be now much closer to a band 9 answer because we have clarity. Your tense has to match the question, students, okay? So where do you go to school? Currently, I do not attend school. All right, now think outside the box. All of you go to school somewhere. Where do you go to school? All of you go to the same school somewhere. Where do you all of you go to the same school? Okay, I want to also encourage you to really think outside the box, be quick and clever, because that will lead to high band scores on the IELTS exam. All of you go to the same school. Where do you all go to school right now? It's absolutely a clever answer that you could think of for this question. Okay, what do you think? What's inside my head? You all go to the same school. Where do you go? School is a place of learning. Keep that in mind, the definition of school. Iqbal says university. No. John Williams says high school. No. Arandeep says primary school. No. It's all of you go to the same school. What is that same school? Gailan Shirzad says English learning. You're much, much closer. Okay. Yeah, there you go. Mal says AE help. Mal, you're actually the closest. So you could say, although I am not attending a physical school at the moment, I go to school in the comfort of my home when I attend online English classes through YouTube. I just subscribed for academic English help, which has been giving me lots of great tips for the IELTS exam. Boom! There you go. Right? That's your quick and clever. So although I am not attending a physical school at the moment, I go to school in the comfort of my home where I attend online English classes through YouTube. I just subscribed for academic English help, which has been giving me lots of great tips for the IELTS exam. Right? So that would be your band 9. Your IELTS examiner would be very impressed with that kind of an answer. They would say, hey, that is smart thinking. All right? Anahita, any place where you go to for learning, especially if it's structured and regular learning, is a school. A school is a place of learning. And that can be virtual, that can be physical. If it's structured and you're getting instructions regularly, especially from a knowledgeable instructor, then you are in school. Okay? So Iqbal says it's completely out of the box. I gave you a hint, Iqbal. I said all of you are in the same school right now. I know it's tricky. All right, everybody. So think outside the box, okay? You have to think, in today's world, you really have to think with specific examples. You have to reflect on what you're doing, and you have to have a global kind of perspective as well, considering technology, the environment, globalization. So there are a lot of elements that come into play for getting those high band scores, 7, 8, 9 on the speaking, okay? All right, students, you are doing fantastic. Let's practice now verbally, okay? So we're going to take some volunteers for speaking. And to do this, we're going to use our website, which is another great school of learning, okay? This is the website here. I think, Sarah, can you please copy the instructions into the chat so everybody can see them, those people who are kind of joining in right now as well, and I'll walk everybody through. We're going to practice speaking with each other, which is really cool. So much closer to the actual speaking exam, and we can do that through our website for free. So don't panic. Don't be like, oh, this is where I'm gonna have to pay. No, you don't have to pay. Just take a deep breath. You can use this for free. Just go through these steps, okay? So first of all, you go to aehelp.com. This is general IELTS here. aehelp.com is this one here, okay? And you click on this big red button if you want to join the premium IELTS package. Again, it's a one-time payment for lifetime access. Or this green one here that's just behind me, if you want to try using it for free, if you're not sure yet. And then once you do that, you'll be in your My Student account. And in your My Student account, you're going to have a computer-based practice exam, a full online course. You're going to have workbooks, study plan, lesson videos, more than 100 full, no advertising speaking videos and practice speaking videos. You're going to have all of the audio CDs for the exams, and you will have your student partner speaking right there. Okay, that's what we're using right now. This is free. This is where you can talk with me in the live classes, or you can talk with other students and find speaking partners. Okay, so click the I accept start speaking. That means that you are responsible for your language, for your information that you share with others. Technically, you should be 18 to use this service. If not, you should have the permission of your guardian. Okay, now you'll see lots of people in here. So we can see in here Muhammad Amin, who's a premium student as well. Nice to see you, Muhammad Amin. And then we have Pima. So you see the premium students, and you see some of our regular users. We have Virgo in here. You will find me in here. Okay, you will find me in here as master. When you see my name, beside my name, you will see a blue envelope like with Pima here, and you can click on that to send me a message and say, I want to volunteer, or let me volunteer, please. Okay. All right. So we're going to take a student and get right into it. If you're having difficulties, if you're not sure what you're doing, ask for help. Sarah is in the chat. She can give you advice on what to do as well. Okay. All right, Virgo would like to volunteer. Are you ready? And learn from each other, students. So the tips that I'm going to give you, the strategies for each volunteer, is useful for many, many people. So pay close attention to your peers, to your fellow students. Okay? All right, Virgo, if you're there, let me know, and I will call you. I always send a message first, students, just to make sure you have an okay connection and you're ready. You didn't leave for a cup of coffee or bed or something like that. All right, here we go. Here's Virgo. Hello, Virgo. I hear kind of static on your end, so I guess something's going on. Can you check your microphone? I heard some movement there. Students, you definitely want to check your setup, your microphone, your connection. Ideally, you're using Wi-Fi, or even better, a LAN connection, because you're using audio software through one website and you're using video audio through another one, YouTube, right? So you need some good bandwidth for this. All right, Virgo, check out what's going on there, and then I'll come back to you, okay? Let's jump up to Muhammad Amin here. Muhammad Amin, are you ready? All right. So hang in there, students, because you don't know when you will get the chance. Okay, Muhammad Amin, let's give it a go here. Hello, Muhammad Amin.
Hi, sir.
How are you?
I'm doing good.
Awesome.
Thank you for asking.
Great. This is the first time we're interacting, right? Muhammad Amin?
Hey.
Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I was saying this is the first time that you're speaking to me, correct?
Yes, correct. I was watching YouTube live as well, so it kind
Okay.
of got messed up right now.
Okay. Yeah, you want to mute YouTube. So all you want to do is just mute YouTube
Yes,
because
yes, I
then,
just muted it.
yeah, because
I
otherwise you
just
get
did.
double audio. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, Muhammad Amin, where are you right now in the world?
I'm from Uzbekistan.
From Uzbekistan, and why are you taking the IELTS exam?
Uh, well, basically, I studied at English department and I've taken IELTS exam before, so I want to upgrade my score right now.
Okay, that's that is a good thought. Let me help you with that. I'm going to ask you some
hmm
questions. Give me some nice full sentence answers, and then I'll give you some feedback. Are you ready?
Yes, sir. I'm ready.
All right, welcome to the speaking section of the IELTS exam. My name is Adrian. I will be your examiner. May I see your identification?
Yes, sure. Here is it.
For part one, I will ask you a couple of questions to get to know you better and some questions on a general topic. Where's your hometown?
Okay, so I live in a small city. It's Fergana. It's located in the north part of Uzbekistan.
What do you like about it?
Well, actually, there are lots of things that I really like about my hometown. First of all, I would say, uh, people. People are very kind and very considerate. Also, I like this weather in my hometown.
Okay, I'm going to stop there and give you some feedback on that before we get too
Mm-hmm.
far. All right, so good news and bad news. Good news, you're fluent. You understand English quite well, I can tell. You, I think, have a lot of vocabulary as well, and you can use it quickly, which is good. However, you really need to pay attention to your grammar and your content as well. You do
Mm-hmm.
not want to make mistakes with simple questions and answers. So when I said, may I see your identification? You said, yes, sure, here is it.
Here it, yeah.
Right? Yeah, you caught it. What's the
Mm-hmm.
correct way to say it?
Uh, Here it is.
Here it is, exactly. So it's not here is it, because that would be question
Yes,
format, right? It's here
yes.
it is. Unfortunately, even though technically in the IELTS, the examiner is not marking you for those first couple questions,
Mm-hmm.
they are still formulating an opinion from the very beginning. So first impressions are very important. And if you make a mistake with a simple sentence like that grammatically, you have basically made it impossible to get a band 9 or band 8, because there's just no way that the examiner is thinking, okay, this is very good English when there's this kind of a mistake that early. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So you really have to be careful. So instead of saying, yes, sure, here it is, even when it's correct, just
Mm-hmm.
stretch it out a bit. So don't, so here's a really important, well, we could call this a trick for everybody. When you start your IELTS interview, start slowly. So don't start with your fastest English possible. Okay, that's how you get yourself into trouble. So especially when you're fluent, as you are, you can show that fluency later on. If you're not speaking very fast at the beginning, that's okay. So you can say, yes, sure, be specific. Here is my passport. When you're specific like this, you won't make that mistake that you made. So here's my passport that I used to register with. Please take a look. Can you just try that? Yes, sure. Here.
Yes.
Go for it.
Yes, sure. Here it is, or here you can see it.
No, use the full sentence. Here's my passport that I used to register with. Please take a look.
Okay, so here's my passport that I used for registration. Please take a look.
Much better. See, now you're fluent. You didn't make a mistake. So in my mind, you're still set for a band 8 or a band 9 possibly. Okay, that's the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, you're not rushing into your answers, so you're decreasing your chances of making awkward mistakes. Okay, so start a bit
Mm-hmm.
slower. Start with full sentences. All right. Now,
Okay.
also make sure that you complete your ideas. Okay, so I asked you, what do you like about your city, and you said to me that you like the people, and then you said to me that you like the weather. Right? especially
Yes.
when you're doing the exam online, and some now you can even do it remotely in some countries. I have no idea what the weather is like in Fergana. So if you tell me that you like the weather, you have to explain to me what that means. So you have to say, for example, I really like the weather. It's sunny most of the year and very pleasant in the summer, around 29 degrees. Then I'm like, oh, okay, that's why you like the weather, right? But if you just tell me I like the weather, it's kind of like, okay. So do you want to try that? What do you like about your hometown?
Uh, okay. So there are lots of there are lots of things that I like about my hometown. First of all, I would say people of my city, because they are very kind and very considerate. And the second thing that I like about my hometown is that we have a steady weather. It most of the time it's very sunny. So
Good. Okay, and then just stop. That's fine. If you remember to say most of the time it's very sunny and 20 degrees, fine. If you forget the 20 degrees, that's not the end of the world, although numbers are really useful for explanations. But that's a much better answer. So now you're much more in that 7.5, 8.85 range, okay? So the
okay,
first time that you were speaking, you were kind of at the 6.5 range. Now, when you were
hmm
speaking, you were at the 7.5 range. So there's a clear band score difference in those answers. Okay, so focus on
okay.
on practicing that. Thank you for being a premium student. Are you enjoying the course so far?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
Yes,
awesome.
yes, I am actually.
Nice correction. Yeah, and definitely pay attention to those self corrections. So when you catch yourself making these kinds of slight awkward mistakes, then correct
hmm
yourself every single time. Always take that extra few seconds to correct yourself. Okay.
Okay.
All right, Muhammad Amin, keep it up. You're doing great.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye for now.
Mhm.
All right, thumbs up for Muhammad Amin. That was really good. Okay, so hopefully you picked up some tips there. One really important tip, obviously, was start slow. Okay, start a bit slower. Let's take Pima, another premium student that's just under here. Let's. We haven't spoken to Pima, I think, ever either yet. So let's see what Pima sounds like. Pima, are you ready? Okay, and I will hop around in the volunteers, so it's not like I'm going to go through from top to bottom. So hang in there. And Pima, if you're ready, let me know so that we can connect. All right. We've got about 40 minutes left in this class, so lots of time for volunteers and tips and strategies and practice. Students, you should be also, of course, speaking. So when you hear your peers saying these sentences, when you see me write them down, make the corrections, okay? So Pima, if you're not there, I'm not sure if you're there listening, I'm going to give you a 5-second countdown, okay? And then you can try again in the future. So Pima, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Let's reach out to Chayani, who used to be one of our channel members for a long, long time. Chayani, are you ready? If you're there, let me know. Yes. All right.
Um,
Hi,
Hello, sir.
Chayani. Hi, how are you today?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing quite well. Thank you for asking.
Yeah.
Chayani, let's do this.
Mhm.
Are you ready for a couple of questions?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, let's jump right into it. So you've obviously volunteered numerous times in the past. So let's get into some
Yeah.
good practice. Let's talk about school. Where do you go to school?
Well, although I graduated from 2021, right now I'm currently as a student of Bachelor Degree of Biotechnology that I'm attending an online class right now. I'm in the pastime, so I usually went on an online class through Zoom for 2 hours.
What other schools have you attended?
Aside from the bachelor degree of biotechnology, I have attended the dance school that I been there almost 3 years. Almost 3 years that I learned about the choreography of dance, also the traditional dance that from my country. I remember that when I was in the 16 years old, I learned the lots of traditional dance from the East District of
Which
Indonesia.
was your favorite?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Which was your favorite?
My favorite, as I said mentioned earlier, my favorite subject of the class is about traditional dance. That I also can popularize the traditional dance through the people, because traditional dance is kind of like crucial, the crucial culture of Indonesia.
All right. So, Chayani, not bad. You need to slow down a bit and focus a bit more on the grammar, consistently having good grammar, okay? So you have some what's called fossilized mistakes. It's where you have made that mistake so often that it's become a part of your language. So you need to unlearn these fossilized mistakes, like, for example, missing the past tense ed on the end of certain verbs when you're talking about the past, okay? So really slow down a bit and emphasize the grammar. You need to, your speed, your fluency is fantastic. Your accuracy is low. So you need to increase your accuracy, even if that means decreasing your fluency. So I asked you, where do you go to school? And you said, well, although I graduated from 2021, what's the mistake in that sentence?
Okay, the sentence also should be presented in right now.
But just grammatically, there's grammatically a mistake in this sentence. Although I graduated from 2021. One word is the wrong word. Which word is the wrong word in this sentence? Or in this phrase, I should say.
In is in 2000.
Exactly. Exactly, not from 2021, but in. So you corrected yourself. And what I wanted to show you here, and this is an important point for everybody, is that many of you know the correct way after you look at it carefully. And Yanni, you know the correct way. So, well, although I graduated in 2021. And when you make that mistake once or twice, it's not the end of the world, even though it's awkward. But when you make it again and again throughout the interview, it's going to start costing band scores, okay? So you have to really smooth out these mistakes, Chani. And the way to do that is by listening back to your recordings, saying it correctly, slowing down a little bit, and really just focusing on picking up that accuracy, okay?
Okay,
all right. Also, you're correct. In this question, you should have been just speaking about your online classes that you're doing right now. Don't talk about the although I graduated, because see here in the next question, you can talk about that. So what other schools have you attended? Oh, I had attended university prior. I graduated in 2021 with a bachelor's degree in biotechnology. Can you repeat this word after me? And this is for everybody. Bachelor's degree.
Bachelor degree.
Bachelor's degree.
Bachelor degree.
We show possession here, so it's not. We say bachelor degree sometimes, but it's more accurate to say bachelor's degree. Bachelor's degree. One more time, Chani. Yes. Bachelor's degree.
Bachelor's degree.
Much better. Okay, that was your clear pronunciation there. The first time that you said it, because you said it so quickly in the original answer, I had to kind of do one of these in my head to figure out what you were saying. It didn't really come across clear, okay? So slow it down a bit, Chayani, okay? Slow it down a bit, all right?
Okay, yeah.
All right. Any questions?
No, sir.
Okay.
That I was a bit surprised for the last question, because it is kind of like related to the previous question, like.
Absolutely. I mean, you shouldn't be surprised. They're connected questions, so don't be surprised. Any question can come up in the IELTS, right? So, so just take a deep breath. And if you do get surprised, okay, what can you say?
Let me think for a while.
Yeah, you can ask. Exactly. You can ask for time, right? Here, I'll give everybody kind of an interesting one that I haven't used before. This question you can say, has caught me off guard. Please allow me a moment. Okay, so if you're genuinely caught off guard, and this is an interesting idiomatic expression, caught off guard means that you get surprised by it. Okay, can you repeat after me? This question has caught me off guard.
This question has caught me off guard.
Please allow me a moment.
Please allow me a moment.
Okay, now ideally you're not really using this in part one. Part one questions shouldn't be catching you off guard. So what other schools have you attended? Primary school, vocational school, English tutoring classes, dance classes. It shouldn't really catch you off guard, but if it does, you can use this sentence. Okay, Chayani?
Okay, sir.
All right. Keep up the good studies. Okay, and we'll talk
All right,
again.
sir. Yeah.
Okay,
Thank
bye.
you, sir.
You're
Bye.
welcome. Bye. All right, that was Chani, a regular student, and she's improving. Just needs to slow down a little bit. All right, let's go to the bottom of our list here and see if anybody is volunteering. Let's check out Guy Lan, another one of our premium students on the website. By the way, for those of you who want access to the premium course, you should see a red button somewhere near the top there, and you can click on that to get the premium package. I don't see it because I'm in the premium version. Guy Lan, are you ready? It's nice to see our new premium students volunteering in the live class. That's great. Guy Lan, if you are there, let me know, and we'll get into a little bit of Q&A with some of the questions about school. So hopefully you have been hanging out for most of the class and you're still in the group here. So if you're listening to me and if you're seeing my message pop up and you're hearing the little ping from my end, Guy Lan, then just send me a yes. So you should be able to respond by saying, yes, I am, or here I am, or ready as I'll ever be. Again, this is why I said, students, even if you're near the bottom or lower down in the list, just hang on. Okay, Guy Lan, if you're there, we'll give you a 5 count. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, Guy Lan. Well, next time, hang in there. Artemisa, just beside Guy Lan. Are you ready? I believe Artemisa and I have spoken before. I think Artemisa might have even booked a full speaking interview practice with me at some point. Artemisa, if you're hearing me, let me know. If you're there, send me a sign. Artemisa, I'm guessing the female version of the male name Artemis. Yes. All right. Hi, Artemisa.
Hi, good morning.
How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm good. Is this the first time we're speaking to each other?
No, I booked this speaking interview with you.
That's what I thought. I thought maybe not, though, because in the chat you were writing, but I'm not. And I thought the end of it was going to be, but I'm not the same Artemisa.
I wasn't sure about the chat because it's first time using it.
Okay. But it's working.
Yeah, it's working. Yeah.
Okay, good. Artemisa, did you do the IELTS exam after we had the speaking interview practice?
Yes, I did I did the IELTS and I got the same band.
Yeah, and you need a better band, right?
And I have the exam this Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's my 5th time.
Yeesh. Yeah, you shouldn't. So ideally, you're not. You want to make sure that you're improving before you book your next exam. So just my advice is, check to make sure that you have improved and reached the level that you need, because it's expensive. 5 times.
It is really expensive.
That's a lot of money. Yeah.
Spend a lot of money. It's $1,500 already.
I know.
But
yeah.
My report from CGFNS will be expired pretty soon in February, and that's why I am rushing to get this bands and this test done. And
Okay. Well, are you speaking English as much as possible, like at home with your family, with your friends? You're saying, "Hey, stop talking to me in any other language. Just talk to me in English." Yes, you're doing this?
I speak English every day, but the way how is the test is making me so nervous and is giving me anxiety when especially when I speak with someone and they are telling me, "Oh, I'm recording you now," and okay, my brain is getting frozen that time.
Just imagine that the examiner is your loving grandmother or your grandfather, and they've got some delicious cookies baking in the oven that you're going to get to eat after, okay? So just
how
relax.
you can do that when someone is watching you like you are an alien or something?
Just smell the cookies. Smell the cookies.
Oh my God.
The
Yeah,
chocolate chip
I will
cookies in
do
the
that
oven.
this time. I don't know. I will let you know.
Okay, sounds good. You deserve to be there. And hey, remember, the sun will shine tomorrow. I mean, you've already done it 4 times. I know that sounds horrible to say, but
This is my 5th time.
I know. That's why I said you've already done it
Crazy,
4 times. So the sun will shine tomorrow, right? So just be yourself. Take a deep breath. It's fine.
I emailed them and I spoke with one of those who's taking care of the exam and everything. And she said, I spoke with her about 1 hour in the phone, and she said, "You have these band scores?" And I said, "Yes." She said, "It's impossible." And I said, "It is impossible." Is impossible? It's possible because I'm getting these points. And
Yeah.
she said, I don't know. You have to visualize. She was giving me some advices, but I don't know. I will try
Well,
this.
unfortunately, in the IELTS exam, the examiner can only give you the score that you present them. They can't give you the score that they feel you deserve, right? I mean, that would be great if we lived in a world like that, but that's not how it works, unfortunately. So they can really only judge you on what you present to them, okay? But
Yeah.
I'll help you out here. So you'll do great, okay? And you know what? If you have some questions and if you're uncertain, send me an email and we can maybe try to figure something out where we can help you out a bit, okay?
I was thinking to book an interview for tomorrow because I know it's going to be 24 hours after you book the interview, but I'm not sure if you have.
Send me an email and I'll see if I have some time where I can squeeze you. And it also depends on our time zones, right? Because I'm on the Pacific time zone. So,
Yeah.
but send me an email. Let me know
I
what
will.
time you're thinking, and then we can figure it out, okay?
I will.
Okay, Artemisa, let me ask you a couple of questions about school. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, here we go. Which was your favorite school and why?
My favorite school was high school because we had a lot of fun in that period of time with my classmates and teachers. Since we organized every week. I don't know how to say it. We used to go every week in excursions, or we went in different cities to visit and learn more about
is
the
your
history
favorite
and about
subject?
the culture they had. I'm sorry, I didn't.
What is your
Sorry.
favorite subject?
My favorite subject was history because I really love to learn about the culture and the way how we came here, or the way how the history went and how.
What is a typical day in high school in your country?
High schools usually start the lesson around 8 o'clock until 2 p.m. Depends how many hours you have per day, actually, but usually is around 6 hours to 7 hours per day, and you have different subjects. For example, one subject will be an hour or an hour and a half lesson. That means, and then you have another subject, so will be all these hours. Uh,
Okay, that is the end of part 1. We will now continue with part 2. All right, Artemisa, let me give you some feedback. Yeah, so band score wise, that would be considered about a band 6 to 6.5. Okay, at best. And I know you want to get higher, and I know you deserve higher. Like, you should be getting closer to a 7, even a 7.5. The main mistake that you're making is you are trying to speak the truth, and you're trying to speak your mind. And speaking our mind is a very tricky situation to get around, to avoid doing, because you'll probably ask me, like, well, Adrian, how do I not speak my mind? I mean, how do I not say what I'm thinking? Right?
Yeah, it's hard to make stories for me. I don't know.
It's hard to make stories. Don't make up stories. Just choose the easy path. I think you're getting yourself into unnecessarily difficult situations, and that's causing problems with your fluency, and that's showing the examiner that you're lacking some vocabulary. What you want to do as the candidate is you want to show the examiner, instead of showing them that I don't have this vocabulary, like, for example, I don't have the vocabulary to say we went on many field trips. Okay?
Yeah.
That's what you were trying to say, is we went on many field trips.
So
during
you call
high
field
school.
trips?
Yeah, they're called field trips. So instead of showing me that you're missing the vocabulary for field trips in high school, you want to show me that you have the vocabulary to explain to me why it was your favorite subject. So instead of saying field trips, you can say we went to many places during high school to learn about people and cultures. We visited other cities, we visited museums. Okay, so I'm avoiding the word field trips. I'm trying to get around it. I'm pretending for the examiner that it's not that I don't know that word, but I'm just using other words because I'm talking about it differently. So it takes practice to do that. Don't try to force your brain into thinking about a word in your own language and then trying to translate it into a word that you don't know. Okay, remember your descriptive paraphrasing. All right. And you kind of got yourself into the same situation again and again, where you wanted to give deeper, better explanations, but you were missing the vocabulary or the grammar, and then your question started strong and then it finished quite weak, and that's why it got you down to that band 6. You started the answers at about a band 7, 7.5. Okay, so I might even suggest to you in this exam to try to just speak shorter when you're not sure what's going on, and if you get stuck, instead of showing me that you're stuck, go to an example. So, like, I'll never forget when our teacher took us to the Central Park to feed the ducks. We had such a great time. So you jump to this imaginary example, right? Okay. So try that strategy. So speak a little bit shorter, and when you feel like your explanations are getting overly complex, immediately stop yourself and give a strong example. Let's just try that once. Which was your favorite school and why?
My favorite school was high school period because we had many. You see, I went again in the same way.
Yeah.
We went in different places every week to learn more about culture and the way how people lived in those cities. And also we went in many museums, and we had such a good time with
Perfect. Stop there. Perfect. Stop there. Okay. So this is what you need to do. Okay. So over the next few days, practice these questions. Don't even really pay too much attention to part 2, part 3. Just focus on these part 1 questions, because if you're able to train your brain to do this for the part 1 questions, that will transfer to part 2 and part 3, and you will get a better grade. Okay. So this is what you want to focus on, is getting yourself out of these difficult situations that you're getting yourself into, and I think you'll get a better score for sure, by at least a half a band, if not more. Okay,
I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Okay, Artemisa, send me that email. I'll be waiting for it. Okay,
I will.
Okay.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Bye, Artemisa.
Bye.
All right, let's keep our fingers crossed for Artemisa that she gets a great score this time on the IELTS exam and doesn't have to do it a 6th time. Artemisa, definitely talk to me, communicate. I want to help you. I don't like hearing that students are doing IELTS more than 2 times. 2 times? Okay. 3, 4? I know it happens, but we want to avoid that, okay, students? And one way to do it is use the premium course. Contact us, send us emails, know what you have to do, okay? All right. Let's take somebody else here. So we've got Mark here. Let's see if Mark is available. I have to refresh my page, everybody. So you might have to do the same here so that I can see you. Okay, I'm going to send Mark. Let me do a shift refresh because I don't see Mark. Yeah, so you might have to refresh your page, everybody, so that you're with me again here. All right. Sometimes when we have so many people in the chat, you might have to do a refresh to reconnect to the chat servers. Okay, Mark. Mark says, yes. Mark, are you ready? I think Mark is ready. Mark's paying attention. All right, Mark, if you're there, just give me another yes, and then I will ping you. Okay, we're just making sure the connection's good here. All right, Mark. Hello, Mark. Mark, I cannot hear you. I'm not sure what device, operating system, and connection you've got going on or how you have your microphone system set up, enabled for the website, but I don't hear you. Maybe you probably hear me through YouTube, but I don't hear you. Okay, Mark, check out what's going on your end and then try again. So for some students, you might need to use a VPN. Your IP might be being bounced depending on your service provider through a location that doesn't work very well. Okay. All right, Mark. Let me try Karina. Karina, are you ready? Karina, another one of our premium students. I think we've spoken to Karina in the past. Karina's ready. Hello, Karina. Are you there? I don't hear you, unfortunately. Well, wait a second. Sometimes it takes a minute for students to learn what's going on or to check their connection or close some apps or programs that might be eating up bandwidth. Okay, Karina, troubleshoot, check it out. We'll try somebody else here. Let's see. Mark sent me a message. Mark says, I can hear you. Yes, but I can't hear you, Mark. So you need to check your microphone most likely. Okay. Let's try Parbej here at the bottom, waiting very patiently. Parbej, are you ready? We'll find someone. Okay, again, students, when you're using this system, so when you log into your My Student account and you open up the Student Partner Speaking, test it out with other people. So send them a message, link up with them, check what's going on. And then once you've made the right connection, then you'll know, okay, that's how it works. Okay, Parbej. Hello, Parbej. I can kind of hear something.
Hello, sir.
Hi. Yes, I heard you pick up there. How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. Parbej, I believe this is our first time speaking to each other, correct?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Well, good for you to take the leap of faith. Be brave. That's how you get confident in speaking. Parbej, can you tell everybody where you are in the world right now?
So I'm from Nepal.
From Nepal. And whereabouts in Nepal?
From Kathmandu.
From Kathmandu. That's one of my favorite city names in the entire world. I don't know why. I just love it. I think it sounds awesome. Kathmandu. All right. Parbej, why are you taking the IELTS exam?
So I'm taking the IELTS exam for my further study in abroad.
Okay. For bachelor's or for master's?
For bachelor's.
For your bachelor's. All right. Well, let me ask you a couple of questions about school. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What is your favorite subject in school?
So my favorite subject when I was in school and now is math,
Why?
because I like to solve so many complex numericals, and I love to solve many kinds of questions that tackle our mind, and some we need to be more focused on that question, and we have to uh, put more put some more extra efforts to do that question, and I love challenges, so I like maths.
What is a typical day in high school in your country?
The typical days in my high school.
What is a typical day in high school in your country? Okay, that is the end of part 1. So if you get stuck, then the examiner will end the question, okay? So you have to speak. You have to say something, okay, to show that you're still thinking. So say something like, give me a moment to think about it, or say, can you please repeat that question? Just say, can you please repeat that question? Parjab, are you still there? Did I lose you? Maybe we lost our connection. Parbej, are you still there? I think we lost Parbej for some reason. But anyway, Parbej, if you're listening through YouTube, I'm going to give you a little bit of feedback, okay? So your answer was about a band 5 for that first one. Make sure to always explain yourself when you're giving answers, okay? So if your favorite subject is math, then let the examiner know why, and do not overcomplicate. So the missing vocabulary there was not numericals. Anybody know what words he should have used instead of numericals? Solving many questions was okay. That was a good way to get out of that vocabulary situation. But the word he was looking for, instead of numbers, it wasn't numbers. So he wanted to say, it starts with an E. So my favorite subject in school is math because I love to solve equations. That's right, Bogdan. That's right, Chayani, Rakwea. Equations. My favorite subject in school is math because I love to solve equations. I love a good challenge because I feel ecstatic when I come up with the right answer. Okay? All right. And don't say we have to focus. So students, don't use the we and the you, okay? Especially with me in math, because I'm not a big fan of math. I had problems with it in school, so it's not true. I mean, math these days, I like it, but don't say we, okay? You never know with your examiner. All right, students, I'm going to stop the Q&A here for today, but you are, of course, more than welcome to continue practicing using the website and talking to each other. Right now, we're using aehelp.com for academic IELTS. Use the premium package there. For general IELTS, it's gieltshelp.com, okay? So these are the websites that power these live classes. Definitely use the premium version of the course. We're always upgrading these products and services for you as well. So adding new materials, new videos all the time. Again, just click that big red button there to join the premium package. That's right above my head there. Sarah, thank you so much for moderating the class. I saw that you had quite a bit of work there today with spammy content and other disturbing intrusions. So thank you for taking care of that and making it a little bit cleaner and better learning environment for everybody. Raquea, Lamia, Andrew, thank you so much. Raquea, don't give up. I will definitely look for you later on as well. Good studies, everybody. Keep up the good work. I will be back tomorrow with 2 reading classes. 1 reading class for members. So Raquea, come back. You can do a bit of reading, Q&A. Same thing for the other members. For everybody, you can come back, watch that class, because afterwards we'll have a reading for subscribers. We'll be taking reading materials from our course content. So until then, you can check out the websites. I'm Adrian. I'm signing out from beautiful Victoria here in Western Canada. I wish all of you a fantastic day or an awesome sleep, a good night if it's late in your country, and I hope to see you all tomorrow. Bye for now, everybody.